guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to be sharing my tips with you guys for college, for incoming freshmen. First of all, if you are an incoming freshman, I'm so proud of you. Dorming is the best thing ever, and if you're not dorming, these are still some good tips, but most of them revolve around dorming because that's what I did. And I'm pretty sad my freshman year was cut short, but I mean, I still had like the time of my life. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. I am not giving you basic tips. These are the actual tips that I wish somebody told me. Again, congratulations. Hopefully we get to dorm in the fall and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I can make more college videos. I have lots of stories, lots of advice. I go to Bridgewater State University, and my freshman year I dormed. So basically, like, for like the first 2 or 3 weeks I didn't have a roommate, and then after that I got an email saying, like, and a text from her like, "Hi, I'm your roommate." And so it was a surprise. I thought I would just be all by myself in a double, but no. I got a roommate, and then she left the spring semester, so I had the room to myself, and then this whole coronavirus thing happened, so that was my freshman year. But these are the tips that I think are really important, and you will get benefits out of these tips. So awkward. I cannot film intros. Anyways, I got my shit written down here, so bada bing, bada boom, let's get into it. Tip number 1, do not take 8 a.m.s. Like, don't even do it. You might think like, oh, I got up in high school at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., I'll be fine. No, just don't do it, because you're up later, and even a 9 a.m. was hard for me. You're gonna find yourself up till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes doing homework, so just don't do that to yourself. Also, when you get there, meet with your advisors. You might not have your correct advisor first, but just meet with someone and kind of just get on track, if that makes sense. Make sure that you're taking the classes that you need to take. You know what major you're majoring in. If you're undecided, that's fine. I would suggest knowing what you want to do, because you don't want to spend more than 4 years at a university. At least, like, that's just me. Like, I want to make sure I'm graduating on time and I'm taking the right amount of credits and I'm getting the right prerequisites for the classes that I need to take. I'm not good at this. Like, okay. Tip number 3 is to make your classes back to back. Like, for example, have a class at 9:05 and then have a class at 10:10. You don't want to have like a 2-hour gap and then you have to go back, and then, because it's just the biggest waste of time in my opinion. Try to get them 15 minutes after each other so you can just walk to the next class and you're just done for the day. Tip number 3 or 4, I don't know, I'm gonna stop counting the tips, but when you have your roommate or roommates or suite mates, before you guys start living together, set rules for each other's bedtimes, and when they like to go to sleep, if they smoke, if they drink, if, you know, are you allowed to have other people over? Do you have to text your roommate and saying, hey, I'm having someone over? Can you just have someone over? Would they feel comfortable with you bringing someone to the room? So that's something to get under. Get to know your roommate. I, like, kid you not, you can be best friends with someone, but living with them is something totally different. You might not like how they sleep. They might snore. That might get you mad. They might sleep early and turn off all the lights, and you're still doing homework. And make sure you guys know how to communicate, because it's just gonna be hell if you don't know how to communicate. This is something I actually found out. Students get 6 months free of Amazon Prime. So I would recommend getting books from Amazon Prime, and of course they ship faster, and you can just cancel it or you can continue it, and I think it's only like $6 students anyway. Also, buy PDF versions of textbooks. You're not allowed to print them out, but like, don't buy the actual textbook from the bookstore. You're already spending a lot of money as it is. Save your change. Rent books on Amazon, so do that, or look for a PDF version. That's what I can say. Next tip is also to wait to buy your supplies. You don't need that much supplies. I kid you not, you probably need a notebook for each class and a folder, maybe a binder, and then pencils, but you do need a stapler. You get any school supplies, just make sure it's a stapler, because you're gonna be typing essays and then they're gonna be like, oh, it needs to be stapled, and then you don't have time to run to the library to borrow a stapler, and your roommate doesn't have a stapler, so just buy a stapler. Don't be that one carrying a heavy ass book bag. It's not necessary in college. So next tip is when you get your syllabuses, whatever the word is, they're gonna give you all your due dates. And this is something I appreciated so much, because in high school it was like, oh, don't forget next week you have a test. Like, what? Like, where did that come from? Your whole semester is mapped out. So make sure you write the dates of your tests, the dates of your quizzes, the dates of your exams, essay dates, final exams, everything. Because sometimes they just don't remind. So make sure you get a planner, write all that shit down. You have to be really responsible in college. No one's there for you but you. No one cares if you don't go to class. Make sure your shit's together. Don't skip. You're paying money for that school. All right, to all my girls out there, maybe guys, I doubt guys watch my channel, but if you're a guy watching, carry pepper spray. I know it's like, oh my god, yeah. Carry pepper spray in your pocket, in your backpack, attach it to your keys, and know how to use it. This is mine, this little thingy, and I carried that everywhere I went, especially because I was in dance and I would walk back to my dorm by myself, and it was dark. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I would FaceTime someone and then also carry it in my hands, because you are on a college campus and many people know that. So any creeps out there, you just want to protect yourself no matter what. This one's just a little one. It's just to have fun, because now that coronavirus happened, like, I wish I just did more. I took for granted being on campus. Like, all those days I was just like, this is not to set a bad example, but all the days that I was like, let me just study. I don't have time to hang out with my friends. Like, you know, cut some time aside to make sure that you're having fun, because it is about the experience. You want to be able to say, oh, I had so much fun in college, and I wish I spent more time with my friends instead of like really busting my butt. I'm just that hard worker at school, and I like know what I went there for, and I knew what I wanted. But like now I'm like, hey, like I could have cut myself some slack and went to go hang out with my friends for a little bit. That's just me. Just don't forget that like you're still a teenager, you're allowed to have fun, and just take advantage of it. I never understood this, and there's such an easy way of explaining it, and I don't know why no one could, like, it was always something confusing for people. Dining dollars versus meal swipes. Dining dollars is like the money that you have. Like, you could have 500 dining dollars, right? So you go to the dining hall and you can buy something like a milkshake for, say it's like $5.99, and you're paying for it like it's a debit card, right? Or you're buying like a candy bar and it's like $1, and you're like giving them your card. You know, that's your like cash money. Meal swipes is when you go to the dining hall and it's like a buffet, and say you have 80 meal swipes for the whole semester, and you swipe and that's one meal swipe gone. I don't know, like, I never understood, and I was like, what's the difference? No one's explaining it right. One is like a debit card, like cash money, and then one is like you just swipe and you go to a buffet. I hope that makes sense. Another tip, not even gonna lie, this is what I did all the time, because I was scared that I wasn't gonna have any more meal swipes. So I would bring containers into the dining halls, like Tupperware, and I fill it up with food and I put it back in my fridge when I got back to my dorm, because they would charge you another meal swipe if you wanted to get their containers and fill up like 3 little squares with food. I was like, I eat more than that. I would bring my own Tupperware in my bag, I hide that shit in my bag, and I'd walk out with a bunch of food, with a full stomach. And I wonder how I gained freshman 15. Another good tip is invest in a good mattress pad. If you are gonna spend money on anything in your dorm, it has to be a good mattress pad. You want to sleep well. You don't even sleep as it is, so at least the 2 hours of sleep that you're gonna get, you can sleep well. Step number 1, join some clubs, join the dance team, just make the experience fun. That's how you make friends. 9 times out of 10, everybody is as nervous as you are. Talk to people. You're gonna be surprised how different people are in college. It's not like high school. Or middle school where people think that they're all that. Like, I liked the people who are different. You know, don't be scared to be different. Like, don't be scared of anybody judging you. 9 times out of 10, nobody cares. Once you get into your class, make sure, this is what I did, and I took this from somebody else. I'm a teacher's pet. I like to get good grades, and I'll do anything to get good grades. Sit in, not the front of the class, but not in the back of the class. Get to know your teacher. Like, after class, maybe say, "Hi, I'm Sarah. It's nice to meet you. I'm glad to be in your class." Something like that. Once you get into class, try to get someone's phone number. Try to make at least one friend, just in case you can't make that class and you had a quiz or a homework assignment. They can just tell you, "Hey, this is what you missed. Take a picture, send it to you," and just help you out. Okay, so what I figured out my spring semester is, after class and you have homework and you have a bunch of stuff to do, go to the library. Because if you do your homework in your dorm, you're gonna get distracted. You're gonna wanna like fidget your fingers or go out with your friends or go out to eat. Get a coffee, sit down in the library, finish your homework, then go back to your dorm so you can just wind down and you're like, "I finished," and you're not stressed like, "Oh my gosh, I have to clean my room, I have to take a shower," and you find all these excuses in your head why to not do your homework. Just go to the library so you have that space and you have that time. Set a timer on your phone for 2 hours, like, "Hey, I'm gonna be here for 2 hours. That's not a long time." Finish up your homework and you'll be surprised how productive you are in that environment. I would get like my homework done so much faster when I just went there and I just sat and focused. So just do that. This one is to, you can't do it your freshman year, but I would recommend like asking and getting ready to apply to become an RA. And this is what I did. I unfortunately got an alternate position, so I didn't get the position. But if someone doesn't want to do it anymore, they could potentially call me. RAs are there to help you. They're there to just kind of make your experience in college awesome. They're like role models that live in the building, but they do keep you on track. So if you come up and you're smelling like weed and you're tipsy and your breath smells like alcohol, they can write you up and potentially obviously get you in trouble. And they don't want to do that, but like they're there for that reason. They're there for your safety, to make sure that you're okay. But then again, they're your friend too. It's an amazing job. It looks amazing on resumes for your future job. Like, "Hey, I was an RA for 2 years or 3 years," or something like that. They're gonna be like, "Wow, you're a leader, you're a role model, you're responsible, you have time management," and all of the above. Benefits of the RAs is that they do get a free meal plan and free housing, and they do live in a single to top it all off. They also trust you with the students on that floor, so that is your responsibility. I cried when I didn't get it, and I also didn't get to be a orientation leader. I didn't get that position either, and I also cried my eyes out, but it's okay. So another tip would be, don't pack too much clothes. You don't need it. Only bring seasonal items. Like, you don't need a bathing suit. That was me bringing a bathing suit to college, like I would need one. And remember that you can always go back home, unless you're an international student, then that's different. Bring everything. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna dress in sweatpants and a t-shirt to go to class. You're not gonna wanna get all dolled up because nobody does that. If you're gonna bring anything cute, make sure it's something you can go out with. Don't bring heels. I was that person that brought heels. And next tip, if you don't have one of these, grab yourself one. I'm not gonna explain why. Just grab it. You're gonna need it. If you know, you know. This video is long as hell. Right, I'm gonna try to be quick. I'm gonna try to be efficient so you guys can just boom, boom, bada bing, get your information. Don't buy Tide Pods. I personally don't like doing my laundry with them. They're just nasty. Like, and then they're expensive and they just go out fat. I think Tide Pods are a waste of money. They don't clean your clothes right. Look at that. Like, imagine that little thing cleaning your pile of clothes. Like, it just doesn't even like register in my mind. Don't buy Tide Pods. Definitely bring extra sheets with you just in case you don't feel like doing your laundry. All right, this one I just figured out like after my freshman year was done. So if you're someone like me and you take 2 of the same classes, Anatomy and Physiology 1 and then A&P 2, this is something good. So you don't have to like keep all your notes in a notebook and then like be scared about losing that. There's this app, it's called like Adobe Scanner, something like that. And I'll link it in the description box. But basically you just take a picture of your work and it makes a PDF version. And what I would do is I would save that and add it to my Google Doc or email it to myself. So on my school email, I would just email it to myself, and then I have all of my notes from, say, Anatomy and Physiology 1, and I can look back to those notes and I don't have to worry about losing all the papers. Okay, so I don't know if anyone is planning on getting a Brita filter, but I was that person, extra prepared, and I bought one, and it was like $40, and now I regret it because I never, ever, ever, ever used it. Invest in those water bottles. My best friend just told me, invest in the water bottles that have a filter in them. What my dorm had is we had our own like filtered water, so I literally just bought, let me show you, it's kind of foggy, I don't know why, $10 at Marshall's, a gallon. This is something everybody probably knows, but Rate My Professor. Use that every single time you're registering for classes. I should have said this in the beginning, but I just remembered off the top of my head. Use Rate My Professors and take those reviews seriously. Sometimes that's not an option when you're a freshman, which really sucks. I taught myself pre-calculus. And you don't want a teacher like that. Like, you pay too much money to get a shitty teacher, so make sure you're doing your research. A new hairstyle alert. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope this helped. I love making these videos. Just helping everyone get ready for their freshman year of college. Mine was such a good experience. If you're not dorming, dorm. It's like the best thing ever. You meet new people, you meet new friends. Thank you so much for watching, and do me a favor and like and subscribe because it helps and shows me that you like these type of videos, so I will do more.